Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Greta. Did I turn anything on? No, of course. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Greta. If you're new here, and ooh, do you like honey? Honey? Because I have the 10 best honey fragrances here. I personally am very picky with my honey. I don't like it to be cloying or unrelenting. So I like it to be, I don't know, more refined maybe. But I have the 10 best honey fragrances here, and they're all a little different. I have whatever style you're looking for here. So if you like honey fragrances, stay tuned. Okay, let me start with, this one is a beauty. A new release by Thameen, and it's Bravi. Oof. Had this one for a little bit. I've had to sit on it. Thank you, Twisted Lily, for sending this to me. I am over the moon with this one. So now this, where are you? This one opens bright with like some citruses like bergamot and orange and ginger, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger. The way it opens, it's the same thing with this citrusy, I think there's like orange blossom and bergamot and ginger, and it's delicate and floral and a little bit fruity, the same kind of opening for it. And then you get this honey, and it's like a honeysuckle, the way you can almost like get the honey out of the flower. I don't know if you ever like had honeysuckles as a kid where you like pull the stylus out and you like get a little droplet of the nectar. It kind of gives me that vibe with that floral and a little bit of honey. Then you get a little bit of fresh tuberose comes in there, more of a white floral, not like tuberose to me can go a little indolic. It can go more just white floral, and it can also go very creamy bubblegum like. It's more in that white floral, pretty bouquet kind of lane. With a little bit of dryness and the honey, but it starts, that's where it also starts to warm up and get a little cozy and fluffy. It has walnut milk in here, so it gets this dry lactonic. I mean, it's dry because it has that saffron. You know how walnuts are actually have this dry kind of feel to their smell? So it gets this saffron walnut lactonic creamy with honey in there, and it's so delicious. You get a little bit of vanilla that sweetens it up too, but it gives it this fluffiness. So you have this fluffy and sweet. You also have these dry notes like tobacco and saffron and walnut milk, but so it's creamy and lactonic and fluffy and a little bit of dry and a little bit of sweet, and it's so good. And that tuberose just kind of blends in there. It never really takes the lead. I get mostly that walnut milk and honey in there, and then everything else is kind of blending in there to give that right balance to everything. It's so cozy and so delicious. It's so good. I absolutely love this new release. Thank you, Twisted Lily, because I'm really happy. And I haven't always had very good luck with what Twisted Lily sent me, and you know me, I'm always pretty forthright about it. I'm always unfiltered. I have a very poor filter, so I'm really happy about this one. Yeah, this was a huge hit. Thameen has a couple that I really love, and a couple that are executed so well, just not my style. But there's a couple like Peregrina and Blue Heart that I really, really enjoy. I think this is the most mass appealing because they can be a challenging, very complex kind of house that they can be, you know, they may or may not fit you. But I think this one is really easy to fit people. I'm really loving this one, Bravi. They just launched this at Twisted Lily, I think November 1st, to check this one out. If you use Greta 10, it'll give you a savings of 10% over there too. What's the other new release? Let's do this one. I have a few new ones here. Miel Exstase by Navitus. I did do a video on this. I did its own video with also Amorous Intense. This one's so delicious. This one opens up incredible chocolate apricots. Like, if you didn't see that video, you need to go see it. It's like apricots dunked in chocolate, so delicious, but not overboard. And the booziness in here is not prominent like in Dulcis Diablo. Dulcis Diablo is more intense, more in your face, way more it's just photorealistic, but to me too much, where I need it to kind of go away. This is airier and fluffier and far more wearable, in my opinion, for my taste, that I really enjoy wearing this one. But you really get a heavy dose of apricots. You need to like apricots. The apricots are really in there for that, gosh, maybe first 45 minutes or so. You need to like apricots. You're going to get a healthy dose in the beginning. I thought everyone liked apricots. I was wrong. Not everyone does, but I love apricots. So I love that sweet and tart fruit in there, along with that chocolate and caramel and then honey. And it simmers down on you, but it really stays a honey fragrance that I constantly get sillage of. That it is delicious. Dear Makeup Diary, Karina, she did a really good job on this. I know she has like 100,000 followers on her Spanish channel on YouTube. Oh my goodness, this is really delicious. I feel like it's getting better. I don't know. I feel like this is really good. So, Miel Exstase. Well, you're still kind of new too, but I did go over you. Okay. Then we have another fragrance. I have featured this before too. Gosh, a lot of these are new. I'm seeing a lot of honey fragrances come out. Oh my. Okay, so this one is by Fragrance du Bois. This just released this fall. This was a fragrance they created in honor of their 10-year anniversary. I can't believe it's been that long. Oh my goodness. Is it really 10 years? I'm gonna have to double check that. That feels so long. Wow. So Voyage à Paris. This, I personally love this one. I love the house in general. I think they do woods better than anybody else. And they do all sorts of different woods. They do all sorts of different woods. They have a lot of oud fragrances. They also have, they're very sustainable, where they do their own like replanting of all that. But they also have some sandalwood. They have other woods also, but they just do woods so well. This one opens up orange blossom, and then you get a little bit of rum, and you get a little bit of honey again from that orange blossom. It's orange blossom, then you get a little bit of this dripping honey, and then you get a little bit of booziness in here, and the vanilla starts to come up also, and then you get this oud that intensifies it and gives it this depth and longevity and intensity. That honey vanilla in here, like this one doesn't get annoying honey at all. The honey in here is more delicate and really just kind of teasing and dancing with those florals in here. I think this one is so delicious. This is so good, but you do have to like your Fragrance du Bois DNA. You have to enjoy their ouds. And I feel like this is one that as you wear it, you really start to enjoy it more and more. I find that with a lot of their fragrances, that as I wear them and as they sit on my shelf, they just get better and better and better. I think I heard Anne Lauren compare this to Cavort, and like my head was spinning like, what? They're nothing alike. I don't think they're anything alike. I don't even think they share notes, to be honest. Cavort has a lot more rose in it, and it's sandalwood in there. It's not oud. It's more of a mixture, and it has like a spice, like a cinnamon or something in there, giving it this complex, almost oriental-like vibe without the oud, where this is really like honey and orange blossom, and then it richens into the oud and vanilla, and I find them very, very different. Um, I, I mean, maybe it's because they're the same house and there's a certain DNA to it. I get it. Not every house is the DNA for everybody, but I happen to really love Fragrance du Bois, and they're one of my like holy grail 5 houses. So for me, I mean, this is one of my favorites from Fragrance du Bois. I just think this is so beautiful. Let me do this one real quick. And of course, Chanel. Let's go classy here now. If we go more classic honey, there's Chanel Beige. A lot of people forget about this. This is in their Privé collection, the Les Exclusives. Oh gosh, Beige. Beige is such a great name. I do find this very beige, like it is very simple. It is very obscure. There's nothing stand out about this fragrance. It's very neutral, very blend in, very nondescript, right? Like this is not something that sends you drooling, and it is not something that is your compliment getter. It is a basic honey tropical floral. It's your frangipani with a little bit of Frisia. Now, Frisia and I don't always have the best relationship, you know? Maybe it's...
Do I smell Frisias?
What? No. I specifically told them that...
If I see Frisias anywhere, I will be very disappointed.
Frisia, Hawthorn, and I do really enjoy Frangipani though, because Frangipani's all over my neighborhood. I don't know if you know that, like they're actually imported from Hawaii here, but there's a lot of Frangipani. My next door neighbors have it. Like everyone on my block has Frangipani, but it's very a simple floral with a little bit of honey to it. She meant it to be like the color beige that just goes with everything. It is your very day-to-day kind of neutral fragrance to just spray on. And it's a very simple, classic kind of fragrance with, again, that Chanel type of DNA to it. But beige, this isn't one I wear very frequently. You can kind of tell I don't wear it very frequently, but it is a classic fragrance, beige. Next up is one of the most classic Xerjoff fragrances, and it's Naxos. For men, I know some women will wear it. I do think it does lean masculine. Naxos. I mean, I think every guy should have this, or Neo. I mean, there's a like Team Neo, Team Naxos kind of thing. Naxos is just so classic. You have your honey and your tobacco and your vanilla. There's lavender. There's definitely this aromatic lavender aspect to it. The lavender is not creamy and milky. This lavender is aromatic. Like this is a lavender that you have like in a sachet that you might put in a drawer. Like this is that aromatic lavender in there, which I feel personally is classic masculine when the lavender is like that. There's a little bit of cinnamon in here. It's like cinnamon and tobacco and vanilla and honey. A little bit of creamy tonka bean in there, giving it a little bit of creaminess to it. So none of this is sharp. There's definitely that creamy, dreamy creamy, dreamy vanilla honey kind of thing going on. Tonka bean. It is cozy and delicious. Like this is not a cloying honey either. The honey is blended in really well. I think probably the most prominent is that tobacco vanilla honey kind of fragrance, and then everything else is dressing it up like that lavender and the cinnamon in there just kind of round it out. But the lavender is pretty little prominent though. But I really like Naxos. It is a classic Xerjoff that so many men, most men have had it rotate through their collection at some point if it's not a fixture. Then I have from George Zaharoff, I have his signature Tabac. This is one I absolutely love, and it is so underrated. Like you'll find people in the Zaharoff kind of Z-head crew knowing this and loving it, but I don't know if it's like enough people mainstream know. This one is good. Wow. This one is a little more complex, but man, does this one drive me nuts. I have actually a lot of products. He has, like there's shaving cream, there's after splash. I have a bunch of like ancillary products to this because it is so good. I would buy everything and anything that comes in this formula. It is more masculine, but I love smelling this. I think I have a soap too. I have a soap for this. I have a lotion for this, I think, and I do use those. But I do like it now, especially now that it's fall. It has a little bit of booziness to it. I think it's cognac and rum that's in here. This one's been out for a while, it's just so good. Cognac. I get a lot of cognac here. You get cognac, you get honey, you get tobacco, you get this whole mixture of things going on that gives you this overwhelming kind of feel. Yeah, I get a little bit of that aromatic lavender, but it's not as prominent as in Naxos. It's a less prominent lavender in here. You start to get these woods in here, and like foresty kind of woods come through on this. And you get the resins that come through and give it that sappy, sweetness to it. It's so much more than just that tobacco and honey and vanilla and tonka bean. Like that's in there. A lot of what's in Naxos is also in here, but he just ran with it. He added more, made it more complex. He added more incense to this, where Naxos doesn't have that incense in there. I don't think it has the booze in there. And there's a little bit of plum that kind of gives it this juicy, plump sweetness also. This one is so good. If you like Naxos, you got to try Tabac. Like, I think it's better. I think it's better. I think this one is like roll your eyes back good. And then George went and just launched another one, Aurum, which I think is so funny because he's so cute. He did with all the marketing, he put like the little bee over his mouth, like the Silence of the Lambs. Like he did that whole little marketing thing, which I thought was really cute. Ah, Aurum, meaning I think liquid gold or something is what Aurum means. This was inspired by baklava. Now, if you're in the Middle East or you're Greek, or even if you're in New York, we all know baklava, right? I think like countries fight over who had it first. Was it the Turks? Was it the Greeks? Was it like, yeah, they're all like, was it the Middle East? Was it Lebanon? Who had baklava first? I don't know, but I'm going to eat it first. Okay. I'm going to be eating that, and I'm going to be eating it last. Aurum opens with this smell. I get honeycomb, like I get natural honey, like honey that gives a little bit of waxiness and a little bit of floral to it. I mean, I smelled it and I was like, that's a honeycomb. That's literally a honeycomb. It's like honey on the honeycomb. This is so good. Oh, gosh. And if that's not good enough, I mean, this literally turns into the honey syrup that's in baklava. And then there's also walnuts and almonds. If you want to argue over what kind of nut should be in your baklava, he's got them all, don't worry. There's a little bit of clove bud and some cinnamon. Now, my mom, one of her best friends when I was growing up, was from Greece. Mary, I love her to pieces. She always taught my mom how to make fresh baklava, and they always stuck a clove into each diamond segment, like one clove on top. So that really strikes a chord with me personally. Man, I just get that honey syrup. Man. There's hazelnuts in here, and there's walnuts, a little bit of creamy coconut milk, but I don't get that, but I can see how that's lending to that phyllo dough kind of creaminess too, right? That you get in baklava. And a base of vanilla, tonka bean, and praline. But can I just tell you that Claudier did this perfect rendition of baklava. Like it literally smells like baklava. I don't know if you want to look at it as great longevity or linear, like, because it really keeps that baklava scent. That honey sticks with it. That honeycomb, and then it kind of starts from honeycomb, and then it turns into that like liquid honey syrup that you get in baklava. And it just keeps for the entire duration, this fragrance. I'm not sure the longevity. I'll have to get back to you on that. I haven't worn it through its life. I ended up always hopping in the shower or something, so I don't know truly how long it lasts, but it definitely was holding its own. I think this one is so good. If you like honey gourmands, you've got to get your hands on this. Like, Aurum is delicious. It's really delicious. Baklava. It literally smells like baklava. You nailed it. Like, you nailed it. But I do like that fresh opening where you're like, ooh, it's a honeycomb. Yeah. Okay. So, Aurum. Next up we have, I only have the travel size, Unique Luxury, the Beverly Hills exclusive. This is another honey tobacco fragrance, but it's much lighter. I definitely get more of like orange blossom in here. I get those florals more in here. It is definitely not the way of Tabac, which is boozy, and it is not even as heavy tobacco as Naxos. Naxos has that lavender aromatic in there too, where this actually goes much lighter. It has that tobacco in there, and it almost smells like fresh tobacco leaves with that hint of honey water. There's a watery consistency to this honey, more so even than like a honey liquid in baklava. Like, that's actually a really intense honey on the baklava one. More like Chanel Beige is this more delicate kind of honey and floral, but you also get the tobacco is the main note in here. If you took tobacco and added it to Chanel Beige, but you have different florals, but those florals are kind of light, it's kind of like more in that realm. It's very good. It's I find it to be more masculine as well, but man, this one's really good as well. The Unique Luxury Beverly Hills exclusive. That's with Alan's shop in Beverly Hills, the Beverly Hills Perfumery. Then we have from Byron, Black Dragon. I've had this one for a while. Ooh, now I have a discount code for it too, even though I've owned this for a really long time. I love this house, Byron. They have so many great fragrances. This one opens more mango with drizzled honey on it, with a little bit of fresh pineapple, but it's fresh fruit in here that you're getting with just a sprinkle of honey is what starts it out. I love that fresh opening. It's brilliant. But it dries down to a tobacco fragrance with also this dry, crisp but creamy kind of sandalwood in there. And that sandalwood and tobacco really blend nicely, along with some vanilla that just gives it this just enough sweetness in there. It has a little bit of amberiness. This is a little bit more of a powerhouse, like medium to powerhouse kind of fragrance. It's definitely more complex, and it definitely goes through a journey for you. Oh, this one's so good. This one, you definitely get the volume of that amberiness on this fragrance. And you get that sweetness from the patchouli as well as the vanilla, but you really get a very prominent tobacco woods kind of fragrance with these sweet things just kind of swirling in there, where you have this little bit of fruity tone and you have this sweetness from the honey vanilla also, and just swirling in there with those woods and tobacco. And it's really good. If you like fragrances like that, Black Dragon is incredible. Black Dragon is incredible on a man for sure, but I actually really enjoy wearing this too when it's cooler weather. I would not wear this in warm weather. You definitely need a chill in the air, a sunny chill day, or even like a cold night in front of a fire, like that contrast of warm and cold. It really works well in that. This one is incredible. Definitely cooler weather or more nighttime kind of vibe for the Black Dragon, but it is sexy beast. Yeah, Black Dragon is really good. You can use Greta 10 over at Byron as well for their fragrances. I'll put all that down below. You know I always do. I'll tell you where you can get it and for what prices, where I can get you a discount. Okay, did I miss any? I did! I had several people asking me what I thought of the Harmonist, and it was a house I just always skipped over. They're even at the mall here. And I think because I had it mixed up with another brand that I see in the subscription boxes that I wasn't really liking, but the Harmonist is actually a really good brand. Expensive. Yeah, you'll go cross-eyed looking at the prices on those. But Moon Glory. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick lives right here in San Diego, and he's a very loyal subscriber. I know he watches kind of all the perfume channels. He sucks up every bit of information he can get. And he was so kind. He got these from his SA and forwarded them to me, which was really nice. Moon Glory. I was like, okay, yes, I like it. I think I need a bottle now. Holy cow, this is addictive and good. I looked at the prices and was like, okay, maybe I'll wait for a sale. I'm not paying that retail. Oh, what was it, like $3.50 for 50 mLs? Was it a 50 ml I was looking at? It was expensive. This one is not justice on paper. This one needs skin for sure. I don't know if I have skin left. This one opens with ylang ylang, jasmine, and lychee. And lychee is one that can either go really good on me or not. And it goes really good on me with this one. You get these florals, you get that sweetness of the lychee, and then you also get the sweetness of the honey coming through. And it's this creamy honey, and there's something like dizzying about this fragrance. It makes me dizzy, of like spellbound kind of feeling, with this fuzzy creaminess, and everything is just swirled together in this creaminess together. So well blended, really hard to pull notes out because you just get this vibe from it versus actual notes. There's passion flower, lady of the night flower. I don't even know what that is, but I know what a lady of the night is. Honey, let's see. There's Peru balsam, white musk, and hinoki wood. Hinoki wood was really trendy for a little bit. Yeah, I'm really getting like fruity sweet and honey sweet and florals. And it kind of takes his time in the beginning of what pops out. The dry down is like nothing on paper. You really need skin. Oh, I get almost this fruitiness that obviously it's the lychee, but it's almost like plum-like fresh plum sweet, kind of like sweet, and that little bit of tartness to it. The tartness is so perfect. There's nothing astringent here. It's a sweet and tart, and then you're getting that honey. You start to get these florals that come through. And the woods, I think it's that pear balsam comes through and really gives it this foresty, woodsy kind of thing that comes through, that sweet woods. Like I always think of that sap on them, the sticky sweet sap that's on pine needle type of trees that blends with these florals and the fruits and the honey, and it really is like spellbounding. It's the best word I can think, because it makes you woozy, dizzy kind of. It gets this fluffiness with enough sweetness for me, like a tart sweetness, and I love it. So yeah, I'm really liking the Moon Glory. And thank you again, Patrick. That was very, very kind of you to send that to me with a very nice note too. Thank you. You're great. You're wonderful. I talk to you all the time now. So those are my favorite honey fragrances. A lot of new ones, huh? A lot of new ones. Let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 new ones here. Awesome. And all really good. Yeah, what's my favorite? Gosh, I think number 1 is Bravi. Number 2 might be Moon Glory. Really good fragrances. And then if you're into gourmands, man, Miel, Exstase, and the Aurum. I don't know I don't know. How do you pick one here? How do you pick one? They're all really good. These are 10 that you should get to try, and they're all different styles and some more masculine, some more feminine. I don't know if any is more feminine here. Is any more feminine? I'm not sure. I don't think any of them, maybe Beige. That might be the only like truly feminine one here. Yeah, I think the rest are really neutral or masculine, to be honest. So yeah, let me know what your favorite honey one is, because there's a lot of honey fragrances out there, but these were my picks from my collection. So I want to hear yours, and don't forget to hit thumbs up and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.